Valorant creators are fed up with the game, and so was I. I quit Valorant months ago and I've not regretted it since. But now bigger creators have openly shared the same feeling, and the script I made to announce me quitting has become even more relevant than ever. So I want to share my own thoughts. If you were to search Valorant on YouTube, it won't be long before you see a sea of Valorant highlights or something to immortal videos. The game has been out for over 3 years now and the content has stayed pretty much the same. A collection of good plays and ranked. But why is that? After doing a bit of research, I found 3 factors that contribute to the problem. The first thing I want to talk about is the game itself. Valorant is a very linear game. Buy a gun, either defend or attack a site, defend or retake that site, win the round, repeat. On its own, there's not much wrong with that concept, but this causes the variety in content to be scarce. The same goes for games like Overwatch. Now, the problem with this is that the creativity is hard for creators when there's only one type of game mode or one way to play. It's not like Fortnite where you have an entire map to do whatever you want with. So Valorant content creators get left with a game where doing something original is incredibly hard to do. But what can Riot even do about it? For this, I want to look at a game like CSGO. When you search CSGO on YouTube, you will most likely find more than just highlight videos. Also gambling, but I don't want to talk about that right now. Even though this game is just as linear as Valorant, even having the exact game modes as Valorant. But where it differs from Valorant is that this game's philosophy when it was created was for it to be almost entirely made by the community. The maps, the game modes, the skins, and even the 144-tick servers. For this to happen, Valve made software and commands in-game that allowed players to create things like surfing, B-hop maps, flying scoutsmen, retake servers, KZ, and many other things that I don't even know about. Thanks to that, the workshop is filled with unique content that steps outside of the confines created by the developers. But it's not just the workshop. Creators like Waral have started to mod the game to create unique concepts for the game and have made videos that have never been done before at all and are really entertaining. But Valorant doesn't have these things. Valorant doesn't let you create things like maps, skins, or game modes in their game. They do everything themselves and they don't allow anyone to do any different from what they've created. The second factor I've found is the viewer. Obviously, this is not just the fault of the creator or the developers. The viewer watches the content, they click on it, and even in the analytics, it's clear that they support the content. I myself tried to step out of the stale content that has become synonymous with Valorant, but I noticed something very interesting. Every single time that I died in my video, my retention dropped. Viewers don't want to see someone die in games, so the only logical thing to happen is that highlights content where a creator just plays really well, gets a higher retention, and therefore gets more views. I don't think that the creators themselves realize that, but that is just more of a natural development within the community. So if there can be change in the content, we need to make content that is genuinely better than the highlights. There needs to be creators who are willing to take a risk and experiment instead of sticking with what's comfortable, because the results of this experimentation can be incredible. I think that I just had the wrong ideas with my content, and that's the reason why my videos didn't do as well as I wanted them to. But I know that it's possible. The third factor that plagues Valorant is the seriousness. How many funny content creators do you see when going through Valorant content? In my experience, not much. A handful of channels are able to pull this off, which on its own make them stand out. This is kind of incredible since other niches making different types of content still have so many creators who are just funny. But because of the competitive nature of the game, the content automatically becomes more serious than it has to be. The overall way the game should be looked at isn't a way to show how skilled you are, but to have fun like any other game. But the idea of winning has become so intertwined with content that most of the videos is just the upper echelon of players in the game making highlights showing off their skill. This could be changed by incorporating humor or just something to make things less serious within the game. I genuinely don't think it would hurt the performance of videos if the creators would just take their time to make a joke every once in a while. Now, to end this video, I want to say that I don't hate Valorant or Riot. I've spent a lot of time playing and enjoying the game, but for the sake of the future of the game, I want to ask them to let the community help you. There's so much more benefit to having 1 million players contributing by making maps, creating game modes, making community servers. If you don't do that, I don't see a future where the problems I've highlighted will change. I now have a channel on another game that has 12k subs, and that has my attention now. But if I end up getting some traction on this video, I might pick up Valorant again and make some still content to prove to anyone that those original ideas I had just weren't good, because I know I can get at least 10k on this channel if I wanted to. Thank you all for watching, and also, I might sound bitter. Subscribe.